Hello everyone, Eldon here with Conversations with Yoders Farm, and I'm joined today with my brother Lowell, like normal, and we're going to talk through the last couple of weeks that we've been open here at the strawberry patch for Pick Your Own, and hopefully kind of give you a glimpse into what a day in a farmer's life, or a farmer who raises strawberries life looks like this time of year during our busy season. So I'll hand it to Lowell and maybe go ahead and run through how the last couple of weeks have been and give us an overview of that.
Okay. Have you handed it to me yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so it's been a busy couple of weeks. I think last time we talked, we were about a week out from opening our Pick Your Own strawberry patch, and we weren't even sure what day exactly we were going to open, but we were watching the berries closely, and sure enough, we opened, I think, about when I thought we were.
May 1st, right?
Yeah, we opened on May the 1st, which for us is, I think that's pretty average. We have opened as early as maybe the 17th of April and as late as the 9th and the 10th of May, so it's actually a pretty big swing if you think about it, but the 1st of May is pretty average. Really, this spring in general has felt pretty normal, which is
maybe that's why it's like right in the middle. It's been an average kind of weather.
It's been a pretty normal spring.
Yeah.
I mean, especially earlier, probably excessively rainy, and
it's raining right now.
As we record this, we're finally able to record because it is raining. And, gives us some time. So we opened the strawberry patch. It's
today's the 11th. We opened the 1st, and we're pausing because we're both listening to a heavy bit of rain on the roof here, hoping no strawberries are washing away, I guess.
That's pretty hard, isn't it?
It is pretty hard, yeah. The radar says it's about over, so hopefully that's actually correct.
Yeah, so far the season has been going along pretty well. Have we had any rainouts? I don't think we've actually rained out till today, and technically we are still open, but it's hard enough now. This is about going to be a rain out, I think.
Yeah.
We had a pretty good rain last weekend as well. The most of that came on Sunday, so we were able to get our whole day in on Saturday. And so we've had another afternoon. We had a shower come through, but it never closed things down. It was just a shower. And we've been able to run the Pick Your Own strawberry patch. We've also been able to pick every day. So we have a large Pick Your Own field, actually 2 fields. It's divided up. And then we have a small wholesale field. So we also, in addition to the Pick Your Own side of things, we do some wholesale picking, and most of those we ship off to pretty local markets, say an hour and a half away is about as far as we go. And then, of course, we use from there to stock our own farm store, too. We sell a lot of pre-picked berries right here on the farm. So, what did you want to talk about in regards to that?
I don't know. I mean, that's basically a summary of our first week and a half or so here.
Yeah, it's going well. The crop looks fair. I don't know that it's crazy, but it's not poor either. Berries looking nice, especially the Pick Your Own side of things. I think things are looking very nice there. Lots and lots of happy people, and the weather, like I said, has been fairly cooperative.
Yeah.
Is what today is obviously you don't want to be rained out Mother's Day weekend. It's really in strawberries. It's one of the biggest weekends of the season.
Yeah.
So it's not ideal that today is raining, but we were blessed that we made it till 2-3 o'clock before we really had a lot of rain. So we had a lot of people in this morning.
Yeah.
The
last couple of days they've been Seems like they were preparing because they maybe
busy
saw
Friday. And last evening we were looking at the forecast and thought, well, maybe we wouldn't even get more than an hour or two in this morning. So we sold a lot of berries this morning. Had a lot of nice ripe berries come out of the field, which has prepared us better for rain. Mm-hmm. The other thing that gives us some hope is that the forecast after tomorrow looks wet yet, but all of next week looks pretty much dry through next weekend. So we're quite optimistic about that. And
next week is the kind of week we like to see in the forecast.
Yeah, a lot of sun and 70s and maybe just into the lower 80s. So it's perfect strawberry weather.
That's kind of coinciding with our peak production kind of coming in here pretty soon if we're not close there already.
Right, we're probably basically at peak. Strawberries, you don't just turn on a switch and they're ready. It's a kind of a gradual build up, and you hit a peak, and then you're there for a while, and then you sort of taper to the end. A lot of people don't understand how that works, but that's kind of the cyclical nature of strawberry production.
Yep. I guess from there we can go ahead and talk about maybe what a typical day looks like for you. I know for a fact that you are quite busy this time of year, and your wife and kids would like to see you more often. Maybe talk through what a standard day. I mean, none of your days are the same, but they probably have some typical things you can talk through.
Well, okay. I guess I can try to talk through that a little bit. When we're during our business hours, we have a lot of traffic in and out our farm lane, and there's just some things you can't do when you have people here on the farm. Some chores. Either we're tied up helping at stands or keeping an eye on things, or anyway. So any sort of extra things. Morning chores, feeding animals,
planting beans.
Just those extra things, mowing, even things like mowing and keeping up with all that. That has to happen, outside of our normal when we're open to the public hours. So, we're trying to hit it pretty hard.
Just for reference, our pick your own hours are 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday.
Right.
So, yeah.
So we try to do, things like that we need to get done. We do that earlier before we open up. So we're, drinking some coffee and getting after it. Then our wholesale picking, we'll have pickers in anywhere from, they start from 7 to 8. So for me, I'm usually helping to get things set up for that. I'm getting packaging around. We have some picking assistants, they're called. It's basically a little machine that you lay on, and you motor down the row. If you wonder what it looks like, Google it, and you can probably find something. It's called a picking assistant. We have a number of those, so you have to get those set up in the row, batteries put in. And so I'm usually focusing on that first thing. If it's going to be hot, I might have already run the pump for a few hours. If it's really hot, it's nice to get a little bit of irrigation water into the beds before it gets hot. And so get the pickers picking, and then we're starting to worry about orders for the store. So
pre-picked orders,
right. So then I'm hauling the first buckets or flats up to the store, getting them in there. And I don't know, usually it seems like I do that for the next several hours. Dad usually gets the I usually help figure out where the picking is going to take place for the day. We have a field, like I said, or two fields, so we like to pick one field one day and switch it and pick the other. So if I need to put up some signs about where we're picking or rip off a few rows, I try to do that before we have the pick your own folks in. And so then we're doing that. I'm ferrying berries back and forth. If we're picking for a wholesale order, I'm getting them into the cooler. And we're watching pick your own people roll in, trying to make sure everything's going well there.
Make sure we have change around, little details like that.
Yeah, change, buckets, whatever we need. If trying to make sure the lines aren't too long, if we need to get another clerk in or something. And then, so some of our runs, when we haul load somewhere, they'll leave 10, 11 o'clock. Some of them are in the afternoon. It just all depends. So I'm either working here or quite often I'll go out on a run, deliver strawberries and tomatoes somewhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes we meet someone out of Roanoke. We meet them in Moneta. We also have runs sometimes up towards Afton Mountain Way. And we also, a couple times a week, deliver up to the local food hub in Charlottesville. So those are some of the places that our berries and tomatoes end up.
Yeah, that's a destination for strawberries and tomatoes. So this time of year, they're both going out for those kinds of things.
Yeah, then usually on into the afternoon, we generally wind our picking down during the hot part of the afternoon. It depends on the day, but so often the pickers are leaving maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then it seems like things, there's a bit of a lull, things settle down a little bit and we catch our breath. It's a good time to maybe grab some lunch if you haven't been able to
or
get
breakfast
to that.
If you haven't got to that.
Get any last berries out of the field into the cooler, up to the store. And then you start thinking of what all you need to do for the following day. And usually the pick your own, there's often a lull during that time as well.
Yeah, we find that it peaks and then tapers off 1:30 or 2.
Yeah, and then that usually picks back up towards evening. If I'm needed at a stand or something, if someone can't work till we close at 7, we help out there. Or let's go work in the greenhouse, or there's tons of other things to do too.
Yeah.
And then, we close at 7. We try to usher the last people kind of out somewhere around 7. We don't have a, bring all your purchases to the front of the store intercom system in our strawberry field.
Maybe we should consider something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, and then then we're back into that period. We have a couple hours of day left. The public has left the farm. That's also a good slot to do any other chores that you didn't get to in the morning.
Exactly.
Mowing, just all those things that need to be done.
Yeah, get your batteries plugged in for your picking assistance the next day, little things like that.
Yeah, and almost every evening running the irrigation pump. If I need to run fertilizer, I'm doing that in that time period. And I try to get home before too late and before the kids are in bed. And usually many evenings I run up right before I go to bed at 10:30 or so, and I switch an irrigation zone and
switch from one field to the other.
From one field to water, into another field, and then I go to bed and do it the next day.
Get up and do it all again.
It's not really as interesting as it sounds.
No, I think it's just really full, and it's easy to not think about all the behind the scenes of things that people are doing when you go somewhere or whatever. So
it's a very intense 4, 5, 6 weeks.
Yep.
And I guess the other part of it we didn't mention is the phone calls.
Oh right, I forgot all about those.
So basically how we have it set up is one of us monitors social media and the website, the email. That would be you.
That's me. Yep.
And then Dad and I take probably 75-80% of the phone calls. A few people call the landline actually too.
Yeah.
And so we try to have an accurate message on our phone indicating
Your voicemail, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indicating current patch conditions, prices,
Hours,
common questions, answers to common questions, and then what was I saying?
You're talking about voicemails and calls.
Yeah, so we either try to personally answer them or have good information for people to find.
Yeah.
And on busy days, I mean, the call volume is actually quite.
Yeah, I mean, we could almost have a full-time secretary some days.
Yeah.
But yeah. So y'all, the good thing about having a good, accurate voicemail message is just, if it is busy, people can at least get an idea of how things are. Or
right, and there's literally
answered.
no way for us to answer every call. So
Yeah.
we try to, most of the information, hopefully they can find out on the voicemail, or we direct them to the website or Facebook.
Yeah.
And if they need something in addition, we get messages, which is fine, and then we
work through them a time or 2 or 3 a day.
Get a chance, we sit down and work through all of those. So
yeah.
Try to get everyone matched up to the berries that they want.
Yeah, seems to be a lot of people that want the berries. So
it is, every year it just amazes me. I don't know. There's something about strawberries that just kind of make people go a little crazy.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the fresh strawberries and the short season. You kind of have to get them when they're there. I don't know. I mean, I remember before we raised strawberries, Mom was a little bit that way too. We'd have to go with her to pick berries.
Yeah, that's true. It's a very short window that they're in, and it's a good fruit and something that tastes really good. And almost everyone likes strawberries. I've met a few people that don't, but
I don't know if I could be friends with people that don't like strawberries. No, that's not
anyway. It's really interesting how excited people get over strawberries, and we do too. We're very happy. People are as enthused as they are, so we're happy to handle calls and everything. It's just part of the job.
We're very aware that we work pretty much around the year. All year long.
Around the year, around the clock.
That's what it feels like sometimes, but not quite. So we work all year to have these strawberries, and it's nice to see people enjoy them and also be able to recoup some of our costs and stuff as well. So it works for both of us, I guess.
Well, that's the
goal anyway.
The goal of having a farm, right?
Yeah. So, we have talked about the last couple of weeks. We've walked through kind of a day, what that looks like for you. Is there anything else we should cover, or you think?
Oh, I just thought, let's talk a little bit about picking. Sure. A lot of people aren't used to picking strawberries. I mean, for us, it seems like everyone probably has picked a berry before, but that's not always the case. And hey, if that's you, no worries. I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere. That's right. And so here's some things to maybe think about. So you here at our farm, you come in, you drive in the lane, and we're almost always set up, have a stand actually down at the patch. You will follow the signs to the parking area and hopefully get to the right spot. We try to get everyone into the parking area, and from there you'll go check in at the little stand. Here on our farm, not every farm is this way, but we allow people to bring their own containers. A lot of people like to do that. Some people have special baskets and all sorts of interesting containers that they've been picking strawberries in for years. So an ice cream pail, some kind of a flat bowl, anything like that would make a good strawberry picking container.
Generally something that's not super deep.
Right, I've seen some 5-gallon buckets in here, which I guess if you're making jam or just going to mush them up would be okay. Probably more ideal to get a smaller bucket. Or so we allow people to bring their own containers, or we sell a really nice little vented gallon bucket called a busket. It's vented, and we sell those for $1. They're a very economical way you can just run in here and grab those at the stand, and they'll direct you into which field we're picking in for the day. If you're coming early in the morning, most anywhere there's going to be good picking. We like I say, we try to rotate the fields, and some things to think about if you're coming, say, late in the day on a Saturday. Well, we open at 8. We got a lot of people in on a Saturday. So it's going to be harder to find nice, ripe berries at the end of a Saturday. So think about that. Adjust your expectations. We don't mind at all if you come out and pick Saturday evening.
If it's more of a family outing, maybe that's the only time that works. That's great.
Right. You're just probably not going to find the picking that you would have earlier in the day or earlier in the week, frankly. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're often not as busy as we are towards the weekend. And that would go for other strawberry farms as well. Mm-hmm. So either try to get there right when they open up, or
if you can make it work earlier in the week. If you're just looking for quantity and quality of berries, a weekday might be a better day to come.
Yeah, but it's always a good time to go pick strawberries.
No, for sure.
Things to think about in the field. A lot of people don't like to walk very far, so typically the rows up closest to the stand are going to get picked harder. They're going to get picked multiple times. So think about that. Consider walking almost as far away as you can.
Row ends often work well,
right. People don't like to walk all the way to the ends of the rows. Or I have seen it sometimes. People work the row ends because they're easier to access, but they don't work the middle of the rows. So think about that, and you can ask the stand people where they would suggest. They often have a good idea of where to go. And you'll walk out into the field, and you're looking for a berry that's totally red. Some people try to get them a little bit on the green side, assuming they'll turn. Is really a strawberry is never as good if it has green on it. You want to get a fully red strawberry, a nice bright red strawberry. If they have a dull look, it could be one that got missed and might be over the hill. But look for that nice bright red for optimum taste. Another thing people don't do well is move the leaves around. Look up in the middle of the row between the plants. A lot of people are just cruising the row, looking on the edge, but you would be amazed at the number of really nice berries that hide up there under those leaves. So the plants, I mean, you want to handle them gently, but go ahead and move them around. They're meant to be opened up and looked under. That's the only way you're going to get back into there. If you look behind a good picker, you'll see you can actually see the plants have been kind of ruffled. They have a look about them, and so make sure you do that. Please respect the plants, the plastic. We try to have things nice for you when you come out. So really don't like people hopping over rows
or stepping on rows
or stepping
over.
Yeah, just anyways, I've had gaps where in a row where like plants, there was a gap in the plants, and people I guess used it for a crosser, which I guess is okay as far as they weren't damaging plants, but it got packed like a brick almost. I mean, so
like a trail, a well-used trail.
So just think about those things. Maybe one person, you stepping onto a row wouldn't be so bad, but if
once you multiply that
30, 40 people behind you do it, so
very good. Those are all good tips. I just second the one about moving the leaves to the side. Several times we'll hear people say there's no berries in the patch, and if you walk out there and move the leaves back, there's generally still some in there.
A good picker can almost always find really nice berries in a patch if he or she knows what they're doing.
Yep, for sure. So if you're in the area, feel free to come out and pick here at the farm. And if you have any questions, let one of the staff know, and we can show you in the field, I guess, if you need some more assistance.
Right, yeah, you want to, I guess we didn't actually say how you pick the berry. You actually, grab it gently with your hand.
You touch it?
Yeah, and just gently pull it, and if it's nice and ripened, often it'll give a nice little pop as it releases from the stem.
Pretty satisfying.
And put it carefully in your bucket, and you don't want to bruise them. And
strawberries are very fragile fruit.
Right. And you'll carry them back up to the stand, and they will subtract the container weight. If you have your own bucket, they will have probably put that weight on it when you checked in. Subtract the container weight, you pay $1.99 for the goodness that is found in your bucket, and you can take it home. Probably want to think about, you don't want them sitting in your hot car for several hours. You want to probably get them on home into a cool place.
Mm-hmm.
If we're trying to keep berries for a while or overnight, we'll set them near an air conditioner vent. It keeps them nice and cool. You can refrigerate them if you want to keep them longer. That's what I'd recommend. Don't wash them until you're ready to use them. And when you're ready to use them, then you can wash them and cap them. But don't do that ahead of time if you plan to store them for a while. And there are tons of ways to use fresh berries.
Yeah, there are loads of ways. Anything else we should talk about?
That's about it, Eldon.
I'm about out of ideas.
And I'm thinking of 4 more things I need to do today. So
yeah, all right. Well, it is 4:45, and there's a couple hours yet, so I guess you can hopefully get a few of those things knocked off your list. And I have a few things too, including posting this podcast.
And with it being a rainy evening, I'm hoping to get home before.
I think we're actually planning to sit down and eat supper together. If that works out.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is it for this podcast. We are going to try to be back in 2 weeks with another episode. Not sure what we'll talk about then, but we'll probably be nearing the scattered picking stage of strawberry season.
Maybe. I think we'll probably go into the first part of June this year. There's still green berries that will ripen over the next several weeks. So
yeah,
there will be plenty to be had yet for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
And just like to say, as always, we really appreciate everyone who's come out and picked, and those who are still planning to come out and pick.
Yeah, no,
we're just overwhelmed really with the support we get.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it without our good customers and friends.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, if you're interested in receiving these podcast episodes in the future, feel free to subscribe to the Conversations with Yoders Farm podcast and whatever podcast app you like to use. If you're in iTunes, we'd appreciate a review if you feel like it, or tell a friend about us or whatever. And if you want to listen to the podcast on the website, you can go to yodersfarm.com/podcast, and you can find links there to all kinds of stuff related to the podcast. So thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.